While people are signing in, I'll draw. That'll give them something to look at, right? Let's see here. What will I draw? Oh, I know. I'm going to just do something on the fly. Let's see. I'm making it up as I go along. I'm going to draw a bumblebee elephant. A bumblefin.
Or an ellaby.
Yeah, an ellaby. Whenever you feel like doing your intros and stuff, I'm just doing this so I'm not quietly staring at the screen.
Like me.
Yeah. No, it's okay, because we've got this.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today, we welcome author and illustrator, as you see there, Ryan T. Higgins, to read from his new picture book, We Will Rock Our Classmates, the headbanging companion to his bestseller, We Don't Eat Our Classmates. Penelope is a T-Rex, and she's very good at it. She also likes to rock out on guitar. With the school talent show coming up, Penelope can't wait to perform for her classmates, but sharing who you are can be show-stoppingly scary, especially when it's not what people expect. Will Penelope get by with a little help from her friends? Let's find out. It's all you, Ryan.
Okay, great. I just drew this while I was waiting for everyone. This is more interesting to look at than me. I don't know. It's a bumblebee elephant. I was thinking of elephants and a bumblebee flew by my studio. So there we go. That's my bumblebee elephant. So hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I am here to share my newest book with you. It's right here. It's called We Will Rock Our Classmates. It is about my dinosaur, Penelope, and how she rocks her classmates. It is the sequel to this book here, We Don't Eat Our Classmates, which came out a few years ago. In Penelope's first book, she learns how to make friends with her new school, and the best way to do that is by not eating the children. So she sort of learns how to fit in this book, and in her newest book, she learns how to stand out and how to be herself without eating children. Hope I didn't give too much away. Okay, anyway, so let's get started with this book. First, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna take this dust jacket off. And underneath, you see this right here. This is a tribute to a famous album from a band called Pink Floyd. And I have some made up song titles on the back there. All right, here we go. This is We Will Rock Our Classmates, written and illustrated by me. When you open it up, one of the first things you see is a bunch of drawings made by real children. A lot of these are actually drawings from my own children who are, at the time, they were in kindergarten and second grade while I was making this. Now they're in first and third grade. And a lot of their friends drew some of these pictures, and my nieces and nephew drew some too. Because I'm not actually very good at drawing pictures that look like they were made by children. So I used the real thing, real drawings from real kids, and I didn't have to pay them any royalties, which that was helpful. All right, here we go. Penelope was the only T-Rex in her school. Sometimes that made her stand out a little. And sometimes Penelope's classmates didn't see her at all. They just saw a dinosaur. Want to play cops and dinosaurs? You can be the dinosaur. Well, I was hoping to play dentist. Great, we'll be the dentists. You can be the dinosaur. Have you been flossing? William Omoto's backpack is stuck in your teeth. Dinosaur or not, Penelope loved to play. Ha 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 ha, she loved to read. Good night, tasty moose, all wrapped in bologna. Good night, tasty goose with a side dish of pony. Ponies. And she loved to draw. Wait, I won't eat you. I don't even have any mustard. See, look, she's out in the wilderness trying to draw different animals. But the one thing Penelope loved to do more than anything else was make music. She loved to sing. She loved to play guitar. Penelope loved to rock and roll. So when Mrs. Noodleman told the class about the school talent show, Penelope was excited. She was also nervous. She wanted to rock her classmates, but could she do it? Also, the sign-up sheet was right next to Walter the ferocious goldfish. Penelope took a deep breath. She had to do it. She tiptoed past Walter. Then she quickly wrote her name with her bravest purple marker. After school, Penelope shared the big news with her parents. And I'm going to wear a pink tutu and big boots and spike my scales and look angry, but I'll actually be really happy and oh, it's going to be so great. She hummed her favorite songs while brushing her teeth. She danced all the way to the bus. She even told her classmates about her favorite band, the Weevils. Best band ever. My dad used to go to all their concerts until he accidentally ate the drummer. At last, it was time for rehearsal. Can dinosaurs even play guitar? On stage, Penelope froze. She could not sing. She could not play guitar. She worried that dinosaurs could not rock and roll. Penelope was very quiet on the car ride home. She hardly ate anything for supper. Are you sure you don't want more, Penny Pie? You've only had 52 burgers. The next day at recess, Penelope sat alone on the bench. She would not play hopscotch. I am a T-Rex, not a hopscotcher. She would not play duck, duck, goose. I am not a duck or another duck or a goose. I'm a dinosaur. At the end of the day, Penelope crossed her name off the sign-up sheet with her saddest blue marker. When Penelope got home, she went straight to her room. Daddy Rex came in to talk to her. Is everything okay? He asked. I can't be in the talent show, she cried. I'm just a dinosaur. Ah, I see, said Daddy Rex. Come with me. Take a look at this family photo album. This is your Uncle Frank. He was a figure skater. Oh, and here's your mom finishing her first marathon. And here's me, the hamburger eating champion. I ate 5,053 hamburgers with ketchup. You see, said Daddy Rex, being a T-Rex is only part of who you are. You, for instance, are kind and caring, creative and adventurous, and you can be anything you want to be. The next day at school, Penelope marched back over to the sign-up sheet. She looked straight at Walter and almost lost her nerve. But Penelope's classmates had a different idea. Can we play with you? In your band? Please, Penelope. And that gave her just enough courage. On the night of the big show, Penelope was really excited and also really nervous. She peeked out from backstage to try to find her parents. When the curtains opened, William Omoto and his amazing animal sounds took the stage. Chirp, roar, howl, paroo, tweet, 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 honk, plop. Mabel Hastings and her dancing pony went second. Tap, tap, tippity, tap, tippity, tap, 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 tippity, tippity, tap, tap. Then there was the Stegman brothers' synchronized swimming mimes act, followed by Martina Cortez and her dazzling card tricks. Your card was the 10 of hearts. No? Was it the elephant of spades? Finally, it was Penelope's turn. The lights on the stage were bright, but not as bright as Penelope. We are Penelope and the mustard seeds. Penelope was a T-Rex. She was also kind and caring and creative and adventurous. Most of all, Penelope Rex was a rock star. Penelope and the Mustard Seeds came in second place, just behind Mabel Hastings and her dancing pony. That was okay with Penelope. She loved ponies. Ponies. The end. I hope you liked my book. There we go. That's what the cover looks like. I have a few minutes that I would like to draw some pictures for you. So anyone watching, you can either draw along or you can just remember what I'm doing. My drawings are made up of a bunch of shapes usually. I'm gonna start by drawing Penelope for you. Now, Penelope, let's see here. The basic shape that Penelope starts with is a sideways letter U. So we're gonna draw a sideways letter U right there. See, the letter U. And now, to turn it into a Penelope head, we're gonna kind of draw another sideways U behind it and not connect them. We're gonna almost connect them. So it looks sort of like the start of a word balloon. We're gonna give her a little chin right there. And we're gonna draw a little backwards letter C on the back of that mouth. And she has beady eyes. And they're right above her cheek. So we're gonna go like this. We're gonna fill that in. There we go. And we're gonna put her little eyebrow up here, like that. Now, her scales are mostly yellow, but her nose and belly are kind of an off-white color. So we're gonna draw the little line that separates where her scales go from yellow to that light tan or off-white. And now, we're gonna start drawing her body. Her body is as tall as her head is long. So I go like this, I go, oop, all right. And I know her feet are gonna wind up right about there. We're gonna start by drawing her little tiny T-Rex arm, right about there. All right, and she always wears pink overalls, so we're gonna draw those. We're gonna put the buttons on there, and there's the pocket in the front right there, and the little straps that go over her shoulders. You're gonna go right there, and we're gonna add some lines and wrinkles to that pocket. And then we're gonna draw her pants. They have to flare out at the bottom because her feet are so big. They wouldn't be able to fit through normal pants. There we go. Now to balance out that giant head, she's got a tail that is about the same length as her body. So, and now running down the back of her head, there are some scales. And they get a little bit bigger as they get towards the back. And then they get a little smaller as they go down her neck, and then a little bigger again when they get on her back. And on her tail, they get to be about the biggest, and then they shrink back down. Now, some kids have freckles. Penelope does too. She also has spots. So put some spots on there and some freckles. There we go. That is how I would draw Penelope. Next, I'm going to draw another character of mine you might have heard of. His name is Bruce the Bear. I've got a book here for you. I'll show you. This is one of my newer Bruce books, Bruce's Big Storm. So I'm going to draw Bruce for you. While I'm drawing, if anyone has a question or anything, you can type it into the Q&A section, or I think you might be able to also type it into the chat if you can. Either way, if anyone has a question, you can start typing those now, and then when I'm done with the drawing, I could read through the questions and try to answer them. Or I can imagine you ask me questions, because I do know a lot of frequently asked questions, so I could just pretend that you've asked me those too. All right, so if we're gonna draw Bruce, I'm gonna draw Bruce right here next to Penelope to conserve paper. Bruce starts off as a hairy circle. see? Hairy circle. And then he's got some more hairy circles on the top of his head. Actually, this hairy circle is going right into Penelope. That's okay. And there's another circle right here at the bottom of his head. That's going to be his snout. And he's got an upside down triangle in there for a nose. And it gets filled in a little bit. Now, Bruce isn't usually that happy, so he's not going to have a big smile. He's just going to have like a little line that goes like that. There we go. Like this. All right, and his eyes are really low down in his face. His eyes are a little hard to draw. They kind of start as upside down U's with little dots under them. And then he's got another little line down here. And we're going to fill in his ears, make them nice and hairy. Now, this could be any bear. To make it Bruce, you give him a unibrow. Just like that. I'm going to put some hair on his cheeks here. There we go. There. There's a quick drawing of Bruce and Penelope. Okay. Does anyone have a question they'd like to ask me? I don't think I see any. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, how about this? Would you like to see a sneak peek preview of 2 of my upcoming books? Yeah? Okay, all right, I'll show you. So my next book, which is coming out sometime in the late winter of 2021, so this coming winter, I have a book about springtime coming out. It's called Spring Stinks. So this isn't the real book. This is actually something called a proof. It's a printer proof. So they send me a copy of this, and I decide if I like all the colors and stuff based on this proof. But this is what the cover is going to look like, and it's going to be a smaller book. So a usual Bruce book is about 9 by 12, and this one's quite a bit smaller, see? So this is going to be called a Little Bruce book. So that's why it says little right there, Little Bruce book. And I'm going to make, I think I'm going to make one of these for every season, and we're starting with spring. So this one is about Ruth the bunny is trying to get Bruce to enjoy lots of smells of springtime. But Bruce, being a grump, doesn't really like any of the smells. So that's why it's called Spring Stinks. Let me see if I have a page in here I can show you. Oh, for example, there is a page where she is trying to get him to smell. Yes, here we go. Ooh, the green smelling. All right, let's see. Ooh, the green smell of green smelling grass, says Ruth. Grr, grumbles Bruce. See, it's all stuck to his nose. All right, so that's my first upcoming book, and I have another Bruce book. It's a regular Bruce picture book. It's going to be coming out in May of 2021, so not too far after that last one. This one's pretty fun. This one's called The Bruce Swath, and it is about Bruce's identical cousin Kevin, who likes fun quite a bit. So Kevin is all about fun, and Bruce is not. And it is about a mix-up between the two of them when Bruce leaves his house for the day and Kevin comes over, and all of Bruce's family thinks that Bruce has all of a sudden become fun. But it turns out that Kevin is too much fun, and too much fun can be no fun at all. Let's see if I can show you one page from in here. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to, but I'm going to anyways. Let's see here. Oh, here's a good one. There's a candy fight scene. So here's Kevin having a candy fight. And also he's ordering pizza for everyone. He says, yes, hello, we'd like 1 large pizza with unlimited toppings. And for the toppings, we'll have 25 other pizzas. So those are some of my upcoming books. Let's see. Oh, there's a question that just came in. Do you know anyone who is as grumpy as Bruce? This question is from Lindy Barrett. Well, hi, Lindy. I don't want to as grumpy as Bruce. Sort of. Bruce is actually based on, loosely, Bruce is based on my grandfather, who he passed away a few years ago, and he was a very lovable grump. So if you had just met him, you might think he was grumpy, but once you got to know him, you would realize he's actually a quite lovable grump, which is sort of how Bruce is. So I think, yes, I do know people who are grumpy like Bruce, but the people that Bruce is based on, they are grumpy, but also kind and generous. Thank you for that question. I'm going to think of another question that I usually get asked. Oh, I know. I got asked this one yesterday by a kid. They wanted to know how I come up with book ideas. I have two answers for that question. One answer is the one I tell kids. And that one is that every third Tuesday of the month, I hike up a mountain in my town called Mount Agameticus. And at the top of the mountain, I meet an elephant named Mildred. And Mildred has a little bucket filled with ideas hanging from the end of her trunk. And I take one of those ideas and I bring it home and make it into a book. I tell kids that because it's more interesting than the real answer. The real answer is I don't know how I come up with ideas. They just pop in my head. I have found out the more books I read, the more ideas I come up with, and the more fun, active things I do outside, the cooler my ideas are. So I try to do a lot of fun, active things outside, and I try to read a lot of books. Let's see here. There's another question that came in from Patrick. What is your dog's name? Has he inspired any characters in your books? Well, that dog right there is a she, and her name is Sonora. And if I say her name loud enough, she might look up. Sonora. Hey, Sonora. Hi. Yeah, that's Sonora. Has she inspired any characters from my books? Let's see. Well, she is not in any of my books, but I have two dogs right now. I used to have three dogs, and one of them passed away kind of recently. Well, it was a couple of years ago, but he was my old dog, Loki. And Loki, after he passed away, I drew a picture of him in one of my Bruce books. Let's see if I can find him. Let's see. I know he's here somewhere. Oh, there we go. So I put there's a coyote that looks a lot like Loki in my book. He looked kind of like a coyote, or sort of wolfish. But thank you for that excellent question. My other dog's name is Sylvia, and she is not in the studio right now. She's in the house. So this is, you can see behind me, this is my studio. This is where I work. It's not very big. It is about 16 feet from right here to over there, and 8 feet from right there to over there. And it is outside of my house. It's a little cabin that I built in my backyard. But it's big enough for me to do all my work. And this is where I like to hang out. Let's see. Let me see if I can think of one other question that kids like to ask me. Oh, I know. A lot of kids ask me, what inspired me to become an author and an illustrator? And my answer to that is probably my dad. So my dad is an amazing storyteller. He likes to make up stories and tell them to kids. I mean, me particularly when I was a kid. He tells my kids stories now too. And it's kind of neat to see that full circle. When I was younger, my dad had a little bit of an issue with reading. He still does. So actually, my brother and myself and my dad, we all have, we read very slowly because when we're reading books, letters kind of get mixed up for us, or words get mixed up. So it takes us a long time to read. And when I was a kid, my dad actually didn't like to read the bedtime stories to us. So what he would do is he would have a book and he would open it up and he would make up his own story to go along with the book. And I loved those stories that he would make up, even more than the books that he was reading from. So I think because of my dad telling all those stories, and my mom loved books. She was always reading books to us. So I think my mom's love of books and my dad's love of storytelling sort of made me want to grow up to be an author and an illustrator. Well, I don't see any more questions coming in, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I think I'm gonna say bye for now. And remember to shop local. And this is with Powell's, and go over there. Well, I probably order online. How do they order their books? How do they get books from you?
They can order through Powells.com if
Uh-huh.
they are not in Portland.
Mhm.
If you happen to be in Portland, a couple of our stores are now open.
Okay.
The main store, we have a couple of rooms open, so you can come in. And I put some links in the chat if anyone would like to get books now. We appreciate everyone coming for Storytime. And Ryan, thank you so much. That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
And I
Oh, it was
liked
lots of fun.
the drawing along with. I like to see the
Oh,
process happening. So
yeah.
that was cool.
Thank you.
And anyone else, we have lots and lots of virtual events. I put a link over there if anyone's interested in joining any other events. There's a calendar. And
Fun.
that'll do it for today. Thanks,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great afternoon. Yeah, it's
You
your
too.
afternoon out there. I'm 3 hours
Yep.
ahead of you. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what the future's like. It's fine.
You
It's
have
about
a
the
good
same.
evening.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
thank
looks
you.
sunny too, so get out and enjoy
Yeah, it
the
is.
sun.
The sun we're having a pretty warm day today.
Nice.
I live in Maine, if anyone's wondering, so not that different weather from what you have right now, I bet.
That's one of the great things about these Zoom webinars is we can be in so many different places and hang out together. So.
Yeah, it's pretty cool,
Yeah.
and I don't have to be on a plane, which is nice. I
Right.
mean, not that I don't like flying. I mean, I don't like flying, but I'm not. It's fine. But if I can come visit Portland,
Virtually.
virtually. I mean, I'd rather be there in person at some point. But this is easy. So yeah.
Yeah.
When all the craziness of the world is, when it's behind
Settling
us,
down. Exactly.
and I will see all some of your faces in real life.
Exactly. We can't wait to see you all in real life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks,
All right.
everyone. Have
Bye,
a great
everybody.
day.